Че там хуярят кассетами? Все, поехали.
Там кассета нихуя.
Нихуярят 5-7 минут уже садись.
Пошли. Заходим. У нас, походу, гости.
Dramatic battle captured on Russian soldiers' body camera. A tense and dramatic clash between Russian and Ukrainian forces was recently documented through body camera footage from a Russian serviceman. The video begins with Russian troops moving cautiously toward a building believed to be occupied by Ukrainian fighters. The footage shows Russian soldiers conducting a systematic sweep inside the building, searching room by room for Ukrainian positions. Heavy exchanges of gunfire can be heard throughout the engagement, underscored by the explosion of an RPG fired by Russian troops during the operation. While the battle raged with intensity, the number of casualties on both sides remains unclear. The raw footage underscores the brutal nature of close-quarters combat in the ongoing conflict. Russian border guards deploy strike drones in Bryansk-Chernigiv direction. In the Bryansk-Chernigiv direction, Russian border guard units launched a powerful strike against Ukrainian forces, targeting enemy equipment, infantry, and fortified positions. Operating along the Bryansk section of the state border, strike drone teams carried out precise missions to eliminate threats. The operation began with Russian troops conducting detailed reconnaissance, carefully monitoring enemy movements with surveillance drones. Once Ukrainian positions and equipment were identified, the coordinates were confirmed and passed to operators controlling strike drones. The border guard units then deployed their drones with deadly accuracy, delivering precision strikes on enemy assets. Ukrainian equipment and manpower hidden in cover were systematically destroyed, leaving little opportunity for retreat or regrouping. This operation highlights the increasing reliance on unmanned aerial systems in modern warfare, with Russian border guards using drones not only for reconnaissance but also as decisive offensive tools in neutralizing Ukrainian forces.
Cyberblade. Seek the light in darkness.
By Russian Defense Ministry on progress of special military operation. Last night, the armed forces of the Russian Federation carried out a massive strike by long-range air and ground-based high-precision weapons as well as with unmanned aerial vehicles against enterprises of the Ukrainian defense industry developing the Sapsan operational tactical missile systems, production sites of multi-purpose strike and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles, robotic systems, counter-UAV and loitering munitions. The goal of the strike has been achieved. All the assigned targets have been engaged. The Sever group of forces inflicted fire damage on formations of a heavy mechanized brigade, 3 mechanized brigades, a Jaeger brigade, a motorized infantry brigade, and an assault regiment of the AFU near Alexivka, Magritsa, Sadki, Senoy, and Kropovchina, Sumy region. In Kharkov direction, units of an infantry brigade of the AFU and a territorial defense brigade have been hit near Volchansk and Tykoy, Kharkov region. The AFU losses amounted to up to 215 troops, a tank, an armored fighting vehicle, 12 motor vehicles, and 4 field artillery guns including 3 manufactured by NATO countries. The Zapad group of forces improved the tactical situation. Russian units inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of a mechanized brigade, an assault brigade, an airmobile brigade, an air assault brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and National Guard brigade near Borovskaya Andrievka, Kupiansk, Novonikolayevka, Novoplatonovka, Senkovo, Kharkov region, Darilovo, Shandrigalovo, and Yampol, Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy losses amounted to more than 240 troops, for armored fighting vehicles including 2 US-made HMMWV armored vehicles, and 16 pickup trucks. 6 electronic warfare stations and 5 ammunition depots were neutralized. The YUG group of forces took more advantageous lines and positions. The Russian armed forces hit 3 mechanized brigades, an airmobile brigade, an assault brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a marine brigade, and a territorial defense brigade near Konstantinovka, Pereyaznoi, Platonovka, Pleshchevka, Seversk, and Fedorovka, Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 245 troops, an armored fighting vehicle, 12 motor vehicles, and a field artillery gun. 1 electronic warfare station and 2 ammunition depots were neutralized. The Center Group's units improved the tactical situation. Russian formations inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of 2 heavy mechanized brigades, 2 mechanized brigades, a Jaeger brigade, an air assault brigade, 2 assault regiments of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 2 Marine brigades, 2 territorial defense brigades, and a National Guard brigade near Artyomovka, Dmitrov, Krasnoarmeysk, Krasny Lyman, Krivorozy, Nikolaypoli, Rodinskoy, Udaknoy, Donetsk People's Republic, Ivanovka, and Filia in Dnipropetrovsk region. The enemy lost up to 480 troops, a tank, 5 armored fighting vehicles, 4 motor vehicles, and a US-made 155mm Paladin self-propelled artillery system. The Vostok Group of forces continued to advance to the depths of the enemy's defense and liberated Berezovoy, Dnipropetrovsk region. Russian elements engaged 2 mechanized brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and 2 territorial defense brigades near Verbovoy, Gavrilovka, Kalinovskoy, and Podgavrilovka, Dnipropetrovsk region. The AFU losses amounted to more than 270 troops, 3 armored fighting vehicles, 14 motor vehicles, and an electronic warfare station. The Dnieper Group of forces inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of the 2 coastal defense brigades, a mountain assault brigade of the AFU, and a territorial defense brigade near Maly Sherbaki, Stepnogorsk, Zaporozhye region, Dniprovskoy, and Tyajinka, Kherson region. The AFU lost up to 40 troops and 4 motor vehicles. 2 electronic warfare stations and 2 ammunition depots were neutralized. Operational tactical aviation, attack unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops and artillery of the Russian groups of forces inflicted damage on ammunition depots, launch sites of long-range UAVs as well as temporary deployment areas of the Ukrainian armed formations and foreign mercenaries in 151 areas. Air defense systems shot down 383 fixed-wing unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the enemy has lost 667 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 85,418 unmanned aerial vehicles, 628 anti-aircraft missile systems, 25,188 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, 1,592 MLRS combat vehicles, 29,749 field artillery guns and mortars, 42,244 support military vehicles.